Hey, what is up guys? It's Brennan here, and today we're going to be going through the 10 best WordPress alternatives. Whether you're looking for a website builder, a blogging platform, a place just to build your own website, or even building out an entire e-commerce or online store, we're going to be breaking down 10 of the best WordPress alternatives if you are just looking for an alternative to WordPress. Maybe you don't like WordPress, it's too much to maintain. Maybe you're just looking for something different, an alternative. That's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the list. So at the number one spot, we have Weebly. Now, Weebly is actually the first platform that I ever built a website on many years ago. Weebly has been around the block for quite a long time, and now you can even use e-commerce by Square on them if you plan on selling any products, but you don't have to even sell products on Weebly. You can just build out an entire website just for building out a website for website sake, right? And you can do it completely for free. They do have a free version of Weebly that you can create a website, more or less just a basic version. And that's something that you're going to find common across a lot of the different WordPress alternatives that we have in this list. Now, I will say as well with Weebly, in addition, that you can eventually add e-commerce if you would like to, and it's built on the Square ecosystem. You can just build out a normal website, right? They have a bunch of different templates and everything that you may want to use on your Weebly website, whether it be if you're hosting a photography site, even just kind of blogging or writing different posts. You can build out an entire website built exactly how you want it, as well. As you can see here, they have guidance as well, step-by-step options. You can get online with them, as they have a free website builder as well. It's very easy to use. You can start selling with e-commerce on them as well as integrated marketing tools on Weebly. So again, you can also sell products on there, which is really cool if you are interested in doing that. Again, you don't necessarily have to if you don't want to. But yeah, Weebly, a great option for building out a website. Again, it was one of the first platforms that I ever used myself, and it's why they are at the number one spot in this list. And they do have a free version, which is really cool as well. Moving in at number two, we have GoDaddy. Now, GoDaddy is a website hosting company, but they also offer a website builder that you can use to build out a website. Now, they do also offer WordPress hosting, but you don't have to necessarily use that. Of course, again, this is a WordPress alternatives list, so you can build out a website just built off of the GoDaddy website builder and with their templates. Now, GoDaddy, they are at the number two spot in this list just because they are so popular, and a lot of people do use them because they are a good website host, right? That alone. And they also have a pretty solid website builder that's super beginner friendly. So if you just want to build out a simple website, you have a bunch of different templates to choose from, then GoDaddy could be a good option for you, looking at something as an alternative. Just if you want more drag and drop, something simple, you don't have to worry about a bunch of extra plugins or things that you would traditionally have to worry about with a like WordPress website, for example. And, you know, as you can see here, pretty nice, sleek designs, definitely in the modern design realm. And you do also have the ability to add e-commerce if you would like to build out an online store on there as well. So you have sort of that flexibility with GoDaddy and their online website builders. So again, lots of people use them. A lot of people do like using GoDaddy. So that's why I figured I would include them in this list, just because they are so popular as well. And they have that website builder built into their platform. Now, moving on, next in the list, at number three, we have Shopify. Now, I talk a lot about Shopify on this channel. Of course, many of you guys know that. And Shopify really is the best platform if you're looking to build out an online store. If you're interested in doing e-commerce in an online store, Shopify is a great option for you. And I do want to mention, if you're interested in getting signed up with Shopify, you can go and check out that first link down in the description box below. That's BrennanVeleski.com/Shopify. That will take you right over to a Shopify free trial, where right now you can get 3 months of Shopify for $1 a month on select plans. Again, that's BrennanVeleski.com/Shopify, and that will take you right over to a Shopify free trial. Now, to explain more about Shopify, they really are great for e-commerce if you are looking to sell products online. Again, not everybody interested in doing a WordPress alternative necessarily needs to sell products online, but I know a lot of you guys are interested in that, of course. And Shopify really is the best e-commerce platform for selling products online. The other platforms we already mentioned, like Weebly and GoDaddy, they have good website builders. You don't necessarily have to build out an online store, but if you are going with Shopify, you're paying for an online store. So, if you aren't interested in that, then definitely look elsewhere. But if you are interested in that, Shopify is really the best bet for building out an online store. And you are going to be paying for it. Shopify definitely is a little bit more of an expensive solution compared to maybe some of the other options where you don't necessarily need e-commerce. You're just doing a basic website builder template. Then, again, you don't necessarily need Shopify. But if you're building out an online store, you plan to sell products online, whether it be physical, digital, or anything really, then Shopify is a great place to look for that, just because they have a really dynamic website builder, as well as being able to just manage your e-commerce site. Really the best in the game, in my personal opinion, not just because I'm a Shopify affiliate, but because I actually really do like the platform as well, and definitely recommend them to a lot of people. Now, Shopify, again, if you're looking to do an online store, great. If you're not, maybe look at some of the other website builders in this list. Maybe just if you just want like a basic website template, or if you're just looking to write blog posts or things like that nature, then maybe look elsewhere. But if you're looking to do an online store and building out an online business, again, if you want to do all that, then Shopify can be a great option to sell products online. Moving on, at number 4, we have Squarespace. Now, Squarespace, they are another great website builder. They're definitely a little bit more premium end compared to maybe some of the other options we mentioned, at least compared to maybe Weebly or GoDaddy. Squarespace does also offer the ability to sell products online. They do have that online store capability because everyone wants to compete with Shopify nowadays. But Squarespace really started out just as a great place to build out like a site, right? Just if you're building out a blog or a portfolio, generally the Squarespace online builder is really one of the simplest and easiest to use in terms of building out a website portfolio. Maybe if you're into photography, things like that. But of course, you can go well beyond just creating a photography-based website with a platform like Squarespace. You can obviously create a whole website. They have a bunch of different templates. Again, they do also make e-commerce pretty easy. So, of course, everyone wants to compete with Shopify nowadays. But I will mention Squarespace is still a pretty solid platform for that as well. And you can also, of course, schedule appointments or classes, things like that. You can sell membership, so a community type site if you're looking to do a membership site. You do email marketing campaigns, everything like that. So, and you can also, again, there's a lot of different things you can do with Squarespace as far as the different general templates that they have. Again, like I said before, you have online store, local businesses, portfolios, blog, restaurant, services, or a personal CV type website. They have a lot of different templates. Squarespace can be a great option as well. They are going to be maybe a little bit pricier than something like Weebly, obviously, because they have a free version on there. But Squarespace can be a good option for you as well if you're looking just for a simple template builder website, and eventually if you do want to add maybe some of those other elements to it as well. They do have a lot of more dynamic elements. They definitely compete with Shopify a bit nowadays. And, Squarespace, good option as well. Moving on, next in this list, at number 5, we have Wix. Now, Wix, I would say, also similar to Squarespace, but Wix has been around for quite a while as well in terms of building out a website template. So, again, they are a place to build out a template website, right? You have a drag and drop website templates that you can build out. They also do have Wix e-commerce as well. If you're looking to sell products online, again, they are competing with Shopify as well. But in terms of building out a website, you can create a blog on there as well. Wix does boast that they do have a free version of Wix as well, just worth considering. You can sell products online if you're looking to do that. I know a lot of you guys who are interested in WordPress are probably like, hey, I want to build a blog. Well, then Wix could be a good option. If you're just looking to build like a blog type site, then you can do that with Wix as well. Additionally, you also have the ability to do scheduling and a portfolio, as well as, you get the hosting built into Wix. That's another thing worth considering. A lot of these other options that I already mentioned do have hosting built in. That will be something a little bit different with some of the next couple of options that you do have to consider as well, as far as paying for web hosting. But a lot of these platforms are a closed loop because they are not open source. A lot of these are platforms where it's all built in to one, where you basically get everything baked into that one price, right? You don't have to pay for hosting externally because it's all built into that one company's site. So it's all in that monthly pricing plan that they offer. We're not going to be diving into the specific pricing plans in this video. Of course, you can look into each of these platforms yourself if you want to learn more about them as far as the pricing. And of course, that's accurate depending on whenever you're watching this video. Pricing is always subject to change. So again, you also have branding tools with Wix as well that you can use. And you can drive traffic, of course, with SEO. They do also have ad integrations as well as social media integrations. So they make it pretty easy to manage your overall Wix-based website and business. And of course, you can create a website with them as well. They do have the whole website builder set up. And, you can create an online store, booking system, members area, and blog. So they do have a lot of different options. I would say Wix is probably closest to Squarespace. If you're comparing those two, I would say that those two are probably the closest to one another if you're comparing platforms directly between the two in terms of what they offer. Moving on, next in this list, we have Drupal. Now, Drupal, I would say, is closer to WordPress in terms of the fact that it's also an organization, right? So this is another open source type platform, and they boast that here, proudly open source. Now, the one thing with Drupal is that you will need a bit more development experience, right? It's more for people that have coding experience. So if you don't have coding experience or a whole team to hire out, definitely look elsewhere from Drupal. But Drupal, powers a lot of the popular big websites like the NCAA, things like that. They have a lot of different companies, and whether it be retail, sports and entertainment, nonprofits, they do have e-commerce, travel and tourism, higher education sites as well, right? A lot of the web is powered by Drupal, but you need coding experience, and you would also have to get external website hosting as well. Of course, Drupal itself is free, similar to WordPress, but you do have to pay for web hosting. So that is something to consider, at least if you're considering using Drupal. It can be a good option just because it is also open source, so there is that aspect of it, but you do need coding experience. Another platform very similar to Drupal is Joomla. Joomla also you will need some coding experience to use, but they are another good content management system where you can build a website as well. It's very similar to WordPress in terms of the way that it's an open source organization. You will need website hosting. Again, it is free to download, just like Drupal or WordPress.org, but you will need website hosting to pay for that. And the thing is, with Joomla, you may need a little bit of coding experience, likely not as much as Drupal. Drupal's a bit more coding experience heavy, but Joomla does make it pretty simple if you want to set up a site. But again, it is a little bit, there's a little bit of a learning curve there, but it is going to be generally a cheaper option if you're going for open source software where you're just paying for website hosting. It's not a closed loop system like some of the other platforms and softwares that I mentioned earlier in this list, but I figured I would include these here. They do have a little bit of a steeper learning curve if you're interested in using them, but they are good open source CMS options. Again, both Drupal and even Joomla. Drupal's a little bit more popular, but Joomla can be another good option to consider if you do want to go down that road. Moving on, next in this list, we have Zyro. Now, Zyro is owned by Hostinger, similar to GoDaddy, really, because it's another hosting company where they offer their own website builder. Zyro is another website builder where you can build out a website, and it's built into the host of Hostinger. So if you're interested in doing that and just building out a basic template site. They do also have the ability to sell online as well, like everyone offers nowadays trying to compete with Shopify. Zyro does have a bunch of different templates, whether it be portfolio, e-commerce, blog, business, resume, events. You can select through those depending on what you may need. But they are another good templated website builder. Definitely easy for beginners, and something that, an easy beginner could pick up right off the bat. Definitely a lot simpler than something like Drupal, where you need more coding experience to build out a website with them. Again, it just comes down to pricing and what you want to consider, and whether you want something that's open source, you necessarily need that, or if you'd rather just go with something that can make it easy to build out a website, and you don't have to worry about as much of the maintenance aspect of it, where the code is all just updated automatically for you. It's just something to consider, especially that typically bakes into the pricing as well. So moving on, next in this list, we have Webflow. Now, Webflow is a newer platform that has the ability to create really advanced designs. Now, this is something, if you have experience with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can create really cool sites. It is a bit more web development heavy, but you can create things that are really custom as well if you are looking to build something a bit more advanced with a site. As you can see here, sort of like their look and feel is sort of almost like Photoshop, in my opinion, as far as the overall experience with Webflow. As you can see here, kind of looks like Photoshop to me, just like a Photoshop version of building out a website, which is really cool because it's a bit more advanced, something that you're not going to see really on some of the other platforms that I mentioned in this video. It's something that is just a lot more advanced. You have more optimization features, things that you can really customize to exactly how you want it. Webflow is a really technical website builder, something where if you have more experience with maybe a little bit of coding, you don't necessarily need to, but it's just a really advanced website builder. So Webflow, another good option if you want something to be, really custom and designed. Even as you can see here, they have Discord is made in Webflow, which is really cool. So if you have more time to kind of customize things and make it look exactly how you want it, then Webflow could be a great option for you as well. Now, moving in, last but not least in this list, I figured I would include Blogger. Now, Blogger is owned by Google, and they have been around for well over 20 years, and they are really one of the OG platforms if you just want a basic blog. So if that's really what you came to WordPress for, but you're looking for a WordPress alternative, then hey, Blogger could be a good option if you just want an easy blog building experience. It's not necessarily the best platform out there, in my opinion, but it is good for just a basic blog, and you don't really care too much about building out anything else on your website. If you just want a basic blog just to write some little things or share on social media or, something like that, you can build out a very basic website with a Blogger site. Now, of course, it is built from Google. It's owned by Google, right? So you can trust Google, at least on that side of things. And, they do also have Google AdSense integration as well. If you're looking at integrating that onto your blog, it's a very simple platform. Overall, I would still recommend WordPress over Blogger for most people in general. But if you are vehemently against WordPress, then Blogger could be a good option. Again, in general, for most people, WordPress is still a great option. But, if you really are stuck on an alternative, Blogger can be a good alternative for building out a very simple blog. And again, if I didn't already mention, it is completely free to use as well. So I did want to get that across with Blogger. So guys, that is the 10 best WordPress alternatives. Some of these are free, some of these are paid, some of these are open source. It really just depends on what you want. In general, hopefully you found something that kind of matches your specific needs in this list. Again, in general, WordPress still is really one of the best platforms for building out a website. It powers a large percentage of the internet, but if you are against using it and you want something different, maybe you're tired of updating your plugins on your WordPress website, then hopefully you found a good WordPress alternative in this list. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and the notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. But anyway, guys, that is all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.